Hello, hello. Sorry you're seeing my light and my fan and me and my messy hair, and I'm 2 minutes late. Excuse me, but I have to tell you, it's a bit of a miracle that I'm here at all tonight. Um, there's been a lot going on in my life, but this is something I always look forward to. And so I'm happy to be here with you, whoever ends up able to join me live, and anyone who can join on replay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started since I am starting a little late. I am Hannah with Hannah Crafted Gifts, and tonight we are going through the brand new mini catalog for September to December of 2025, or what a lot of us, myself included, call the holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. So it may just have been summer, still technically be summer. I can't believe it's over. I feel like it was literally just starting. I know people say this kind of thing all the time, but I am one of them. I am just always surprised at how fast time goes. But yes, it is already time to start planning for the holidays. At least if you go to any stores, it's already Christmas there. And so lots to share with you tonight, not just for Christmas. So first of all, if you have a hard copy of the catalog, you can follow along with page numbers. If not, this and more is on stampinup.com, because today there were also the release of 2 new kits collection kits, which I'll talk about, and online exclusives, all sorts of products. And so definitely check out stampinup.com for everything. But if you have your catalog, page 2 is your kind of table of contents. Not kind of, it is. And so that's a great place to start to orient yourself to the catalog. This one's organized the way the last several have been, with kind of the 3 levels of crafting. So step by step, which is the most basic, quick and easy options, which is kind of the intermediate, and then creativity your way, which is the most, wanting all the things. So on page 3, I just wanted to point out, I always say this and I always mean it. I just could not think more highly of our CEO and the daughter of our co-founder, Sarah Douglas, her mom, the co-founder, being Shelley Gardner. And she always writes a letter, which I always enjoy reading, kind of like a letter from the editor, a letter from the CEO. And she wrote something here. The whole thing is about gift giving, but she wrote something I wanted to share with you because, of course, we are going into a season, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or like my birthday's in this season. So lots of occasions for gifting. And I thought this really meant a lot. It says meaningful gift giving is about the little things that make people feel loved, appreciated, and truly seen. So it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but just those things that let people know that we think of them and we care. And so I don't think I'm the best at this. This is not my best love language, but I do enjoy trying to find those thoughtful gifts, whether it's something tangible or intangible, like even, an experience together or something like that. All right, so I'm going to be hitting a lot of the first several pages of the catalog, and I see someone's watching live. You should be able to comment. I'd love to know who you are, where you're watching from, whether you're live or not, and ask questions, make comments. You can chat with one another as well as me throughout this live, and if I miss things, I'll go back and catch them on the replay. So page 4 is the product give back, which we have in every holiday catalog. I love that Stampin' Up! Does this. It's one of the ways they make a difference through charity. And they're always themed. This product, which is a stamp set, is themed for breast cancer charities. And so $3 from every purchase of this stamp set will go towards breast cancer charities to continue to fight that fight. And it's called the Love and Courage stamp set. And as you can see, it is, like I said, themed to that cause. And there's some stories here about people at Stampin' Up! Who've survived. And one of the reasons why I have been crazy busy, maybe busier than ever before, one of many reasons lately, and certainly the most important, is we actually had a health scare in my family, not cancer, but something very serious, and all is well, thank goodness, or else I wouldn't be here tonight. But anyway, I just feel like even more so now, I can relate to those going through that being any medical scare or medical emergency. And it's certainly a good occasion to give that extra care and be reminded to give it all the time. So anyway, that's something I've been thinking about lately. In terms of other times to maybe give or, write or call or whatever it is we can do to reach out and connect. On page 5, I thought this was really neat. The catalog shares some occasions to give, and it's just some of the more maybe traditional, and then some unique, or just more like I don't know, maybe less considered occasions to give, like National Coffee Day. Who knew? Not me. I'm a tea drinker, but I would love to give someone a coffee, or maybe it would even just be like paying for the person behind me at the drive-through if I did coffee drive-through. I make my drinks at home, but maybe I'd be making an extra one for someone I'm going to see that day, or who knows. Just good inspiration to be, again, thinking of the ways that we can be generous to those around us. Page 6 is the first kind of product section of the catalog. And again, this is step-by-step. And so this is themed projects with step-by-step instructions for guided creative experiences. Although, as you know, if you watch me, I do a lot with kits, whether it's Kits Collection or Paper Pumpkin, and you certainly don't have to follow the directions. So it's nice when you're wanting something quick and easy or on the go, but you can also think outside the box, literally, and I think that can be a fun creative challenge. So it doesn't have to be too simple if what you're wanting is, to really make it your own. And so let's show these real quick. So page 7, it doesn't show all of them because we get new kits, at least 2 every month. This one came out last month. This is one of the ones that came out today. Let me pull up the name of it for you because I had that ready to share. So this is the Road to Christmas kit. And then the other one that came out today is called Handmade and Heartfelt. And it's kind of an all occasion, all seasons kit. And that's actually the one that's going to be featured on World Card Making Day in October. I believe it's October 4th. And I'll be doing an event for that. So watch for that invitation. If you're not on my invite list and you'd like to be, just email me, hannahcraftedgifts@gmail.com, or you can comment wherever you're finding this video and give me your email, or private message me if you want to share that privately. And I'll add you to that private list to find out about that and other events like this and that and many other things. This is the kit I'm most excited for because I love nutcrackers. And so I love this Nutcracker tag kit. I don't think that's what it's called, although we'll see. But I'm guessing that's going to come out next month. It has to come out soon because it's obviously Christmassy. So in addition to the Kits Collection kits, I mentioned Paper Pumpkin. We'll talk about that because that comes up at the end of the catalog, actually. But there's also 2 scrapbooking workshop kits. Let me try to show you this full spread. So this one's called Keeping Traditions, and we'll see more of that later because that coordinates with a suite, as does this one, Peaceful Days. And I finally figured out something that had confused me a little bit. Maybe it's confused you too. So at the front of the catalog, you have the scrapbooking workshop kits because they're part of step-by-step crafting. They have the instructions on how to make the layouts that you see here to make it, again, quick and easy. Then you'll see very similar products. In fact, some of the same, although some different products to what you see in the kits. In the Creativity Your Way section of the catalog. And so like the same themes, Peaceful Days and Keeping Traditions, those are available in an a la carte kind of expanded product section back in Creativity Your Way. Because again, Creativity Your Way is when you want all the things, you don't need the instructions for maybe that more avid crafting experience. And so that's why you see very similar things. Again, some of the same, some different things in multiple sections of the catalog. As I mentioned, you'll also see suites that coordinate with these products. And those are just products, but not specifically for scrapbooking. They can be used for scrapbooking. They can be used for card making. And I should say, so can the products that say they're for scrapbooking. Like I recently bought a scrapbooking kit for the first time. And I could certainly use it to make cards or tree packaging or home decor, whatever I wanted. But anyway, hopefully that helps you understand it a little better. I feel like I'm still figuring that out a bit myself, but that was a new aha moment for me today. So hopefully I explained that clearly for you. All right, so the next section of the catalog is quick and easy options. And so these are products made for quick combinations and personalized paper crafts. So they're not going to come with instructions, but they're going to be just much quicker and easier to assemble. Again, maybe really good for a beginner or someone on the go. And so you have Memories and More, which can be used for card making, scrapbooking, all sorts of things, but especially maybe scrapbooking and like photo journaling. Mix and match products, which are going to be like ephemera packs of sentiments and images that are already stamped essentially and die cut for you. And so you're just kind of arranging them on a card or a tag or a scrapbook page. And then there are stamps in this section too. This is where most of like just the stamp sets that aren't bundled or part of suites you're going to find. The most helpful thing or inspiring thing I think about this section, besides the product, of course, is on page 14. Stampin' Up! In the last several catalogs has been including these templates. And this time we have them for cards, for tags and for scrapbook layouts. So I think that's really neat. And of course, you could modify a scrapbook layout to be a tag or a tag to be a card. Obviously, just shrinking or expanding the size. But anyway, I thought that's really neat. If you're trying to figure out how to arrange things, you can use those templates to kind of see where it could be good for the pieces to be. And it's really interesting to see when multiple people use the same template but with different product, how different it can look, even though it started from that same kind of blueprint. By the way, again, if you are watching live or on replay, please comment because I'd love to hear from you. I used to do these on Facebook. Some things changed with that platform, so I've done the last one and now this second one on YouTube. I'm going to see how it works because one of my favorite things about the Facebook Live is the interaction. So hopefully we can still have that here. If not, maybe we'll reconsider for next time. All right, so I mentioned that most of the standalone stamp sets are in this quick and easy section of the catalog. And I just wanted to point out a couple. So first of all, this Merry Christmas, if you celebrate, you can see here is basically the size of a card front. So that's basically a background stamp or a very large sentiment stamp. And then my favorite of the standalone stamp sets is this Woodland Scenery stamp set. And so I just love making scenes, and I really like the samples that they've created to make those little scenes on cards. And of course, that's images only, so you could pair it with something like the sentiment only stamp set and be able to have both still. All right, so now on page 20, I've hit almost every page of the catalog so far, and I'm going to continue to for a little while here, but I promise we won't hit all of them. So this is the Creativity Your Way section. Again, this is kind of all the things. Embrace your inner artist with coordinating products and helpful tools that spark endless creativity. So this is where we have the suites, the bundles. We do have some still just standalone stamps, and we have scrapbooking from scratch. That was the aha moment for me when I read that. I was like, oh, okay. So there's scrapbooking kits in step by step because they come with instructions. And then there's the a la carte scrapbooking supplies. Again, some of which are different, some of which are similar, some of which are the same. Because it's in this section where you're just buying the product and doing what you want, or maybe what you learned from a demonstrator like me, or what you see online to do with it. So first, the suites. So this is the Tradition of Christmas suite. Again, this one has a coordinating scrapbook line with it, both the kit and the a la carte items, which we'll see. We've seen the kit. We'll see the a la carte items later. But it used to just be we would see the suite product. Now, again, this catalog has become more than just a shopping catalog and really more of an inspiration book as well. And so it just goes on and on, showing you different techniques and projects and things you can do with these products. And so one of the things it shows here, which I really love, is from that first page, you saw maybe a little box with different sections with different materials ready to assemble gift tags. And so they actually have a QR code here you can scan to learn how to make this box, which I think is really neat. And it says pre-cut pieces make creating gift tags a breeze, whether it's for you or giving the gift of gift tags. I know a lot of people will hire people to do their gift wrapping and things like that. So that could be a great gift to someone who, likes to make things beautiful, but maybe isn't confident in doing that. I was hired once. It was, I say, one of the best jobs I ever had to wrap a family of 4 children's Christmas presents. The only trick was 2 of them were twin girls. And so telling the difference between their gifts got a little confusing. So hopefully I didn't ruin their Christmas. But it was a great way to get paid for a day. All right, let's see. So the next suite, I actually have a project or two to share with you. So I got together with some of my local demo friends this past weekend, and we did a shoebox swap where we make one another's projects. And so we swapped the projects that we had prepared for one another. And so I do have some projects with product from this catalog to share with you. I'll be honest, not all of my projects got done. Again, crazy season here, but I'll still show you what I got. So this is the North Pole Delivery Suite, which is really sweet with all these cats and dogs and other animals delivering the mail and presents. And I wanted to point out with this one that the Designer Series Paper, or DSP, is a specialty DSP. It actually comes with 2 sheets that have pre-cut pieces. So these 2 sheets here, and you'll actually see some of those pieces in my project, but you have lots of post boxes and envelopes and packages and little animals delivering them. And so those are already die cut for you. So let's see. Is there anything else I want to show you about the suite? Nope. So let me show you the projects. Let me find them in my little pile here. Normally, I have these all in order. Again, didn't get to that this time. All right. So first I'll show you, this is one of the ones that is not complete yet. But this little box is from this suite. It's in the die set. And you can see here, this is it before it is all folded up. Can you see that? It doesn't unfold once it's folded all that well. But it has 3 different closures. This is the circle, but it also has a star and a heart. And it fits Ghirardelli chocolate squares, which I forgot I had and will be eating later. This project was designed by my friend Chi Nugent, and apologies to everyone in my friend group if I mispronounce any of your last names. I've never heard you say them. And I always forget to ask before I do these live. So anyway, this was Chi's project, but with lots of decoration. And she also, as an option for the inside, created this little like accordion book that we could put inside with a note on it. So anyway, I'll finish that up and hopefully get that posted for all to see. Also, and I don't remember what product the front of this represents. Maybe I'll think of it. I think this sentiment, wishing you the sweetest Christmas, I think this is from that jar bundle that came out in online exclusives a little while back. I don't remember if the snowflakes are new, but the main event of this card is on the inside with this North Pole delivery. Making sure I got that name right again. Yes, North Pole Delivery Suite. So check it out. Isn't that such a wow? The little shadow box scene there. I love the little Christmas village in the back, or winter village. Those all look like little like gingerbread houses to me. And it said on the inside, may your heart be filled with joy. So love that card. That one's from my friend Fran Trichetta. All right. The next suite is Peaceful Garden. Again, this is the other one that has the scrapbooking kit and a la carte items. Let's see what I want to tell you about this one. I, of course, love it because it has birds. Oh, okay. So I thought there's so much good stuff in here, but I thought that this was a good example of some like more unique ways to use the product. So making home decor, which is a great gift. Wrapping a gift like these candles with this beautiful like belly band and tag. So just, I thought some, again, maybe less commonly considered ideas there. Oh, and I have a card for that one. So my friend Leslie Ann Masala designed this card. Big hugs for a good friend. I'll tell you what, Leslie Ann, she gave me a big hug this weekend and I really needed it. Thank you, my friend. I didn't even think of that until right now, but that was the perfect sentiment for you, especially that day. So isn't that a fun fold? I really like that. You just literally cut the front of the card base and adhere this side down, and then it opens like that. Still spaced right on the inside. So there's that. All right, this next suite has my favorite DSP in the whole catalog, I think. It's definitely top of my list. So Lights of Aurora. Is that not gorgeous? I went to a library craft class recently where we watercolor painted these kind of skyscapes that are in this DSP. And I was so hooked. It was so forgiving and it's so beautiful. One of my my hopes is to see the Northern Lights someday. And I've heard from our teacher who taught the watercoloring class that it's a particularly good time, like the next year or years, to see them. So watch out. Here it actually talks about how the artist at Stampin' Up! And actually shows how the artist at Stampin' Up! Created these scenes, because the DSP is all created in-house, one of a kind fine art from the artists at Stampin' Up! So whether it's graphic design or actually painted, this she painted with these chalk pastels, which we used to sell at Stampin' Up! Maybe not these exact ones, I don't know, but one's just like it in the Stampin' Up! Colors. So anyway, I thought that was a really neat, just kind of like bit of behind the scenes there. Oh, and I have a card to show you from my friend Lynn Hunt Phones. May your day be filled with, and this is all from the suite, stamps, these tree die cuts, the DSP in the background, obviously. So may your day be filled with magic, which I love. So beautiful, isn't it? Just love that paper. All right. Love this next paper too. This one's got to be like my close second. So the Autumn Wall Suite. I just think is beautiful. And I have a couple cards that show this DSP. Let me see if there's anything else in the catalog I want to show you. Oh, yes, there is. Okay. So on page, where are we, 42, this is a one-sheet wonder, and it shows you how to cut. This is one sheet of 12 by 12 DSP. And not only does it show you how to cut it, it then shows you the 6 cards that you can turn that into. And it talks here about some of the different techniques you can use. My Post-it notes are because there was a Stampin' Up crafting event that I went to for demonstrators last week, and they kind of walked us through this. And so maybe that's something I'll share another time, because I'm still working on my projects. I was crafting along with them, but I was slow. So anyway, but really the catalog is probably all you would need for that. They kind of expanded in detail on it and walked us through it. It was really fun. I love the one sheet wonders because you get so many different projects out of one sheet of DSP. And again, this really elevated the one sheet wonder because it talked about all these different like techniques, like coloring techniques you can use. Sorry, I'm trying to point to this side of the page. It's backwards for me. So yeah, so many different coloring techniques you can use to create different looks. All right, so let me show you the product or projects I have with this product. That's always a tongue twister. All right, so, okay, so I'll just show you this one for now because the other one that has this DSP really showcases a different product more. So this is from my friend Barbara Dykhouse, and isn't that beautiful? I told her this was like a masterclass in layers. So you've got the DSP in the background, you have the die cut, which I just love, this huge, like fully background die cut. You have some of the DSP, you have the embellishments. I think this is from the stamp set. Let me double check that. Yes, it is. This is the metallic paper. What do they call that? It's basically brown, earthen tone metallic specialty paper. And this is the ribbon, which is irregular weave trim. So yeah, so this has got it all. Oh, another strip of DSP there. So just really elegant. And I love fall. It's probably my favorite season, even though winter comes after. All right, so on page 44, we get to the scrapbooking from scratch section. So again, you're going to see the same 2 themes, keeping traditions, but now you're seeing the product a la carte. So you have the DSP, and you might think that looks the same as what's in the suite, and it is, except it also comes with a sticker sheet. So the name spells that out. Traditions of Christmas, specialty designer series paper, and sticker sheet. And the price will reflect that it is an additional cost because you're getting that additional sheet of stickers. Now, I believe that the scrapbooking kit comes with this sheet of stickers plus other sheets of stickers. And it comes with some DSP, but not all this DSP. So you could buy the DSP from the suite and then the scrapbooking kit, and you'd have all the DSP and all the stickers. Or if you just wanted the DSP from the suite and this sticker sheet, get this assortment. Hopefully that makes sense. You can also get more two-tone cardstock because, again, the scrapbooking kit comes with some, but not as much as this in coordinating colors. And then you also have an a la carte stamp set that you can only get back here. So this is separate from the stamp sets in the suite, and there is no stamp set in the scrapbooking kit. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to see a very similar sort of thing for Peaceful Days. So I won't go through it because it's literally the same. You have an exclusive stamp set, more two-tone cardstock, the DSP from the suite with the one sticker sheet, as opposed to what's in the kit. Okay. What's next? Okay. Page 49. This is where bundles start. And bundles are a stamp set and usually a tool like dies or punches to cut out the images in the stamp set. Sometimes the sentiments in the stamp set. And when you buy them bundled, you get 10% off both. So it's a deal. If you're going to get both, definitely get the bundle. Don't be like me and so many other people who don't think they're going to get both and end up buying both separately and losing that 10%. So this is the Fluffiest Squirrel bundle. So cute. Love the puns. And a lot of people use this at our event. So first of all, our host, my good friend, Lisa Yamamoto, made this her theme. She is the best host. And I love that she always does a theme, and she will literally have the theme in the food, in the decor. I mean, she will like go out and buy pillows that match the theme. She will make pillows that match the theme. I mean, she just is. You're amazing, Lisa. You're amazing. So she made us this adorable little treat box, which says, "Can't wait to see you again." That's from the stamp set. And check it out. It has chocolate covered nuts, which is so appropriate, and even matches. I just noticed that. Wow. Wow. I want to be Lisa when I grow up. And then let's see if I can remember. Oh, this is also Lisa's card. I have like 3 cards here with a squirrel on them. 2 cards with a squirrel on them. So yes, so this one's not quite done. I still need to add this stump and this little flower in the squirrel's hand. But may you gather happiness. I love that. And so, imagine the squirrel has gathered that little flower. And this paper, by the way, which you're going to see again here in a minute, this is one of the September release online exclusives that came out today as well. So anyway, so this is Lisa's adorable little fluffy squirrel card. Then my friend Carol Bowen, she also used the squirrel. And this is that Autumn Toile DSP again, which again, I just love. This was a really neat technique where we tore the paper, and because you just tear like one, you tear the 2 colors, right? So you got the very vanilla and the pecan pie. You put both together and tear them at the same time, but it's just one piece. And of course, when you tear it, it becomes 2, one of each color. And that's how these lines line up. Like you can see my dip here, right? Matches my dip there. Does that make sense? Anyway, so go nuts. It's your birthday. Love, love, love the pun. And then let's see, this one actually is not fluffy as squirrel, but it's that same paper that I mentioned as part of the September release online exclusives. How am I holding this? Okay. So if you watched my unboxing video where I unboxed all the DSP from this catalog that we're talking about and the online exclusives, then you saw this and you'll remember what it was called, maybe because I can't. But I think it's like gathering something. I don't know if it's gathering together or gathering leaves. It's gathering something. And hopefully you can see it has gold foil, like making up the veins on the leaves and the dots on the mushroom. And this is the stamp set that goes with it, and probably the embellishments that go with it. This is a really neat fold. This is my friend Linda Forgione. And check that out. And you just put it on a single square of cardstock, so it doesn't open like normal cards. So it only uses half what a normal card would use. But then you're using this piece of DSP. I guess you use the cardstock on the inside. Although this DSP was so light on the inside, you could have written on it, but it looks more finished with that. And I love even like this little square she added here. Just really, really like fully fledged card. Lovely. All right, so that's all my projects from this weekend, but there's more I want to show you in the catalog, and we're making great time. Wow, this might be like my record. We might not even go till 9 o'clock, but do stay till the end because I do have prizes to talk about, and so you don't want to miss that. All right, so we're still going through bundles. I wanted to point out on page 51, this is the Words for the Season bundle, and so you get this great stamp set with some short, but some long sentiments. Those long sentiments can be especially good for the inside of cards. And then you get these die cuts that cut out words, which, by the way, if you're a demonstrator, that's a great thing to have. Because especially if you do virtual classes like I do with people who maybe live far away and need things mailed to them, you can't mail stamped images. So you can have people buy their own stamp set, but you can mail die cuts. So this would be a way to send sentiments through the mail, whether that's for a class or maybe as a little prize or thank you or whatever the case may be. Plus, they're just great. So if you're a customer, like just a great thing to put on cards. Like this one has the Christmas popped up, written out beautifully. And then this I think is really unique. It looks like for New Year, they've cut into the paper. So rather than put it on top like they did wishes, it kind of cuts through and creates a little bit of a window there. It's really neat. I think they might have made that a shaker card that you can like see confetti through, which is perfect for New Year's. So anyway, I wanted to point that one out. So I thought that was unique and beneficial. Another one that's unique is on page 53. So this is like a triple savings because there's 3 things in this bundle. So you get, what is this one called? Snowy Delights bundle. So you get the stamp set, you get the dies, and you get this set of masks, which is like stencils. And so you can stencil the different parts of the snowflake. It doesn't show real well there, but hopefully you can see. And I don't know why they did red snowflakes. I mean, it's cool because it makes it look like something other than a snowflake, but I've never seen red snow. I feel like that's out of a horror movie or something. But anyway, it makes it look like, just a beautiful design or something to me. But hopefully you can see, like, they have the different shades. It's hard to see on here, unfortunately, but there's different shades of the red and pink and things like that, because with the different masks, you get those layers. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, buy it and try it. Or ask me and I can tell you about it. I don't have that one, but I have others like that. And I really do like those masks. Okay. I think this is my favorite bundle. It is so cute to me. I do think I will get it. It is the Gingerbread Man bundle. And this is a big gingerbread man. Like, he is all grown up. Look at that. He's like the size of a card front. Largest die, which would be the gingerbread man. 6. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's more than a standard card front. 6 7/8 by 4 7/8. Oh, that's because he's connected, because you could make him a whole card. Okay, so if you cut that in half, then it's, I guess, 4 7/8 by about 3.5. A little less, my guess, because 6 7/8 divided by 2, right? Anyway, I just love the whole thing. I love the sentiments that are punny, like seasons, eatings, baking spirits bright, sugar and spice and everything nice. And oh snap, did you notice that on here? Oh snap, his little leg. That'd be a good one to send for, like, a lighthearted get well soon or something like that. Anyway, maybe that's not so good. I don't know. To each his or her own. All right, and then we get into just some more stamp sets. And don't miss the fact that a lot of times the embellishments, sometimes things like embossing folders, are hiding in plain sight on these pages. And so if you get to the back of the catalog, to the index, look through there and see, is there anything that doesn't sound familiar that I think I missed, and then go back and find what page it's on, because sometimes it's not the main thing on a page, but it's there and you can miss it. All right, so going through this next section of standalone stamp sets, I wanted to point out on page 56, we have a reversible stamp set. I always think those are so cool. And this one's not just holiday specific. I guess it's more winter specific, at least where I am here in the Northeast of the US. But, just something cozy. We used to have a stamp set that had a pun about cardigans, like time for a cardigan. Anyway, so there's, lots of possibilities beyond just holidays and winter even. On page 57, we have another, we haven't had one of these in this catalog yet. We have a hybrid embossing folder. We have had embossing folders like this before that do words, but this one is Christmas words collage hybrid embossing folder. And so it will emboss the words and cut them out. And so you can use them on cards or tags or whatever the case may be. And you don't even have to, ink or anything like that, because they'll be embossed. All right. There's so many good things. Like, I'm skipping some things I like, but I'll show you the one thing I've bought. And I just realized I don't have that sitting in front of me to show you. I'm going to have to go behind me and get it, which I will. You'll see more of my pajamas, but oh well. My swap from this weekend. So I used the Happy Place stamp set, which I just love. And there's nothing Christmas or holiday about this necessarily. So there's more in this catalog than just holidays. And maybe that's why it's not called that. It's the September to December mini catalog, because there's a lot more in it. But I love this stamp that says happy and has the beach scene in it. It reminds me of postcards, which is why I made the project I made. And I'm going to try to talk loudly so you can hear me while I get this. But this stamp set was made in collaboration with one of Stampin' Up's demonstrators, who's $1 million sales achiever. And some of those end up being my favorites. There have been quite a few over the years that have been favorites of mine that were made in collaboration with demonstrators. So anyway, this is my card that I brought to the swap. It was not easy to figure out, and I didn't end up feeling my best about it, but it's what I had time for with everything going on. So it's meant to look kind of like a pile of postcards, because again, that's what this reminds me of. And so happy birthday. And it is just a postcard, not an opening card. You could make it an opening card and have this be the piece on the inside. And don't mind my little mistakes that I'm going to point out to you. See my shadow? I have some on the front too, but that's what shows it's handmade. So anyway, that was my project. Also on page 61, and I almost missed this, we have another buildable stamp set. And so you could use this all together as like a background stamp, or it's already cut apart without you having to do that. So there's a piece popped out of the hole to just stamp an individual image. So I think that's really neat. This customizable and very versatile because of that. All right, so that's all the product, but there's still things to talk about, including ways you can earn rewards and get prizes. So first of all, on page 62, the catalog talks about gathering. Now, you might remember a couple years ago, I think it was now, no, it was just last year. Wow, lots happened. So just last year, the annual catalog, the entire cover was a scene of people sitting at a table outside crafting. But you really couldn't see the crafts because it was kind of a faraway shot. What you saw was this scene of people gathering. That is what it's all about, at least to me and to Stampin' Up and to so many people who craft with them. It's about connecting. And you have to gather one way or another to do that. Or at least that's one of the best ways, I think, because you can connect by sending cards and sending gifts. But you can also, again, like, I think we all need to and want to connect, whether it's virtually if we have to, or in person if we can. So anyway, gather, gather, gather. If you want to gather to connect over creativity and crafts, I can help you to do that as a demonstrator. So I can help you create a gathering to then create something meaningful with your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, whoever. It's that shared experience and, time to talk, but also have something to do. If you can't tell, am a big talker. Again, I wish I could be talking with you all tonight. I'm wondering if the chat feature isn't working. So I'm looking forward to going back and having conversation, hopefully with your comments later. But as much as I love to talk, it can be helpful to have something to do while you talk. And actually, sometimes that makes it easier for us to talk. Like, just a quick aside, with my background in mental health counseling, that was one of the things we learned about when it came to like art therapy techniques, which I love, being a creative and someone who's always loved arts and crafts, is, when someone's drawing or, assembling a card or whatever it may be, it kind of frees the mind and the heart to just like express more easily. Sometimes same can be true with like taking a walk. There's lots of things we can do like that. And so I think having that activity can make it even easier to connect, whether it's through talking or just through the shared experience. Then you have a memory. Anyway, I could go on and on. I'm obviously a big fan. So let me know if I can help you to create a gathering. And then on page 63, it talks about rewards, which you and the people at your gathering could earn. It used to be only the host earned rewards, but now everyone can earn rewards. So for every not for every $20 you spend, sorry. Once you spend $20, you earn 10% back in like loyalty rewards for your purchase. And so one of the things I used to do at these events was basically a 10% prize that I would give people for a certain amount they spent. It was more than $20, by the way. But now I don't have to do that. Stampin' Up! Does it for me, and you earn it at that much lower threshold of just $20. So you spend $20, you get $2 in loyalty rewards to redeem for product of your choice, and you can let that accumulate as you make orders. And I think you have a year to basically redeem your rewards. So it's a great deal. It's the same deal that demonstrators get for rewards, although we also get a discount. So if you're curious about that, I didn't even mean that as a segue, but it was. Page 64 talks about sharing what you love, which is what I get to do as a demonstrator. And it shares some of the benefits here, but there are so many. One of them is let's see, I am seeing a couple comments coming through. So anyway, so one of them is that you get the discount I mentioned, but there's so many other things, like the fact that you have this community to connect with. You get additional inspiration from Stampin' Up! Like I mentioned, the Craft Along event they did just for demonstrators last week. They do special events like that and more. You get sneak peeks. So like I got this catalog and was able to order from it a while ago. And so lots of things about being a demonstrator. And there's really no downside. I know it seems too good to be true, but it's really not. And I'm happy to talk to you about it. I signed up almost as soon as I found out about Stampin' Up! Because I knew I was going to want crafts. And so I wanted to get the most for my money. And it turned out to be so much more than just a discount. I signed up for so many people say this, we sign up for the discount and we stay for everything else, mainly the people. So anyway, page 65 is that index I mentioned. And I think that's a great thing to go through, not just to find what you're looking for, to make sure you didn't miss anything. Although that's part of what I've tried to share with you tonight is what not to miss. And then on page 66 is the paper pumpkin reminder. And again, you're not going to see paper pumpkins here because they're different every month. If you don't know, it's a subscription kit. And that will come every month and be seasonal and occasional, or not occasional. I don't mean like it comes occasionally, it comes every month, but I mean it's apropos to different occasions. And so as we go into the holidays, we'll certainly have lots of things preparing us for Christmas. This next kit for September is called Fall for Twall, which I just love the name of. And that coordinates with the Autumn Twall Suite. And I will be doing a paper pumpkin party for that. So I think I've scheduled it for the last Saturday of September. I'll send that Evite out soon. Again, if you're not on my Evite list and you'd like to be, comment here with your email or private message me, or you can email me to let me know. And I can add you to that list, but I'd love to have you join for that. It's $29 for a prepaid code to redeem for the kit, and it will make 9 cards with coordinating envelopes. You get a stamp set and ink spot that you can reuse. If it's your first kit, you get the block that you would need to mount the stamps, and then all the supplies to make those 9 cards. And it's a really beautiful kit, just like that suite. Very, very similar because it's the same theme. It's coordinated product. All right, page 67 just talks about how there's so much more, which I mentioned at the beginning, especially with the online exclusives just releasing again today. Those release every couple months, and there's carryover product from past catalogs and past online exclusives that are still available. That's where the kits collection is, to go check out those 2 new kits that released today. And again, at least 2 release every month. So as great as the catalog is, whether you have it hard copy or in PDF, the online store is where everything is. And, you know, I personally don't know anyone who doesn't shop online. Maybe some people don't, but I know, I think everyone I know does some shopping online, whether it's Amazon or anything and everything else. So Stampin' Up is definitely, StampinUp.com is definitely the best place to go if you don't want to miss anything. But thank you so much for letting me share the catalog with you. Now let me talk about my prize opportunities. And I think we are probably going to wrap up here a couple minutes early. So let me just pull up my reminder. So I mentioned that Stampin' Up now does the kind of sales prize for me. If you spend $20, you're going to get 10% back on every dollar you spend beyond that. Well, every dollar you spend, as long as you're spending 20. Because again, if you spend 20, you get that $2, which is the 10% in loyalty rewards to redeem for future product of your choice. If you spend 100, you get 10. Am I doing that math right? Gosh, that's easy math, but I'm having trouble. Yes, 10. Okay. So anyway, that was super easy math. That just goes to show where I'm at in life. And math has never been my strong suit. I prefer art. So anyway, the prize I do give, which is not sales-based, is for everyone who watches and comments that they did, so that I know you did, and then invites someone to watch. You will both be entered to win an embellishment from the new catalog of your choice. So you're not competing with the people you invite. So the more people you invite, the more chances you have, not less, because it doesn't increase your competitors. Because you as an inviter will go into a group of inviters that will be randomly chosen from to earn a prize. And then your invitees will go into a group of invitees who will be randomly selected from to win a prize. But your invitees can become inviters by inviting their friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, again, whoever too. But the key is not just to invite, but then to comment that you watched and let me know who invited you so that I can give them credit as an inviter. And of course, give you credit as an invitee that you watch. So hopefully that makes sense. Just watch and comment that you did. And I'll even, be able to figure out who invited who to make sure they get their credit. And are entered to win that embellishment of their choice from the new catalog. So I think that's it. I might be forgetting things. I've never been done early before, I don't think, and I almost hate to go because I enjoy this. But I'll go back and review your comments and try to connect with you there. So please like this video if you did, comment, and like I said, I'll try to reply. The most helpful thing you can do is subscribe and follow and share with others who you think would be interested. Again, especially right now, because you could earn a prize for doing so. And just thank you so much for your support, especially, in those times we need it most, like I am in now. And I hope you're not in now, but if you are, please let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you. So, again, thank you and happy crafting and happy early holidays.